Alright, hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm going to be talking about these new Truman boots that I just got here. These are my new Truman boots in COACH RAMBLER. And I gotta say, recently it's been kind of overwhelming because I've gotten so many new pairs of boots in, and so I've actually been losing track of which ones I need to review and which ones I need to do unboxing videos for. It's been kind of crazy lately because, yeah, I've gotten a lot of new Truman boots in, and they've really been hitting them out of the park. Let me tell you what. This is a boot that I have wanted for many years, and believe it or not, the logic that prevented me from getting these was the fact that I had enough brown boots already. Now, those of you who are true boot addicts know how ridiculous that sounds. There is no such thing as too many brown boots. In fact, when you really get into boot collecting is when you really start to understand the nuances and the differences between all the different browns that there are. Because there's tan browns, there's chocolate browns, and there's everything in between. There's super duper dark browns like the Java Waxed Flesh, which is almost looks black in certain lights. And in fact, it was because I had the Java Waxed Flesh specifically that I did not buy these COACH Ramblers, which again, those of you that truly understand boots and truly understand boot collecting, you know how ridiculous that sounds, right? Like Java Waxed Flesh, COACH Rambler, completely different leathers. Anyways, this is a really exciting leather to look at. In fact, this might be the perfect boot. I'm not even exaggerating. This boot might be the most perfect boot I've ever had. I'll start by reading a little description from the Truman website about this specific leather. So it says, Rambler leather is from the Charles F. Stead Tannery in Leeds, UK. It features natural textures of the flesh side of the hide, finished with a waxed blend for a unique natural aesthetic, featuring a depth of color and rugged texture. And yes, I think this is just a beautiful leather because first off, it's not so dark. It's like a nice orangey middle tone leather, so it really shows its character, which is so cool because it's got a lot of character to show, and if these were dyed darker, then you wouldn't be able to see all that character. So much rugged texture. It's got those really cool abrasions to it, which I really love. It's got a lot of high tones, low tones, and it's that brown orangish leather that really shows off all the character of the boot. I'll read a little bit off the description from the Truman website here. So it says, cap toe, no pull tabs, brown tongue, brown stitching, 5 eyelets, 2 speed hooks. We've got polished brass hardware, which I love. I love that gold brass hardware up against the COACH Rambler upper. I think it looks really sharp. And then we have the 270-degree flat Goodyear welt and commando sole. Just amazing. I love it. They got the It's Hide commando sole on there. It just looks fantastic. I got a comment when I posted my initial picture of these, and the comment was from a guy named Mitchell William, and he says, Truman considers Java Waxed Flesh their flagship leather, but I will preach these every day. My COACH Ramblers are my #1. And I have to agree with what he said. You know, Java Waxed Flesh, that's an easy one to fall in love with because it's got that rugged flesh, that nice, it's like smooth, waxy, but rugged at the same time, and as it breaks in, the wax starts to wear off and the flesh starts to really show its true character, which is cool, and I love it, and I love my Java Waxed Flesh. But I gotta say, these just, to me, they just pop so much more. They just have so much more character, and to me, this is much more of an exciting leather, so much more to appreciate in my opinion. And I love the Java Waxed Flesh. I'm not dinging it, but if it came between Java Waxed Flesh and COACH Rambler, I would choose the COACH Rambler. I really think it's just an outstanding boot, seriously. And yeah, so Truman's been running this COACH Rambler from the beginning, and again, I am disappointed in myself for not getting these sooner because they're just so fantastic. A lot of people that I follow on Instagram, they've got the COACH Rambler. It's taken me a while to finally hop on. This is another thing I wanted to mention. We're really living in a good time right now. Seriously. The fact that you can get a pair of boots at this level of quality with this level of workmanship and this level of quality materials, it's really unprecedented. Like, these boots cost $440, I believe. Never in the history of mankind have you been able to get such a quality pair of footwear for such a low price. The fact that these run under $500 is just astounding. Super stoked about these, and not to mention, I've worn these a few times, but they still have that new car smell. You know, my recent Trumans that have come in, that I can't emphasize this enough, they smell so damn good. They smell like getting into a new car. Now, these don't have the newer style of strip back, but I think honestly, this model looks best with this standard heel counter. with these unique leathers, there's certain angles that are really nice. Like for example, right here on this one, I love that. It's got that nice sort of abrasion there, and then on this side, it's got some real cool like veins and abrasions that you can see in there. Just amazing. All right, now is time. I'm gonna give some shout outs to some of my Instagram friends. This is a new thing that I wanted to start doing. Just start giving shout outs to people that I follow, new accounts, and people that I've followed for a long time that are great accounts to follow if you're into boots. The first account that I want to talk about is Boots of Mannish Leather. He's a new account. His name is Dave, and he is very good. You should give him a follow. He doesn't actually have that many posts up yet, but he wears Viberg, he's got Truman. So yeah, his account's just getting started, and what's actually interesting about him is he did an interview with Andrew Svisco from Parkhurst brand. It's an hour and 16-minute interview, and I'm about halfway through it myself. Very good interview. So I'll actually leave a link to that video in the description. You should check out that video. That's a very good interview, very informative. You know, and that's what we boot lovers love. He interviewed a bootmaker himself, and that's the type of thing that me as a fan of boots that I love. I love getting to hear from the makers themselves, what drives their passion. I just love to hear about their journey, you know, from start to finish. Andrew really breaks it down well in the video, his journey from starting the boot brand till leading up till now. It's very interesting, and he's just a dude like any of us, you know. Works a normal job, but you know, started his own boot brand, and that I just think is so awesome. And Dave's YouTube channel is called The Vintage Future, and I was talking to him recently, and he told me that he's actually got a lot of cool interviews coming up with different boot makers. And he also just recently did an interview with Mark Albert from Mark Albert Boots, and it was just a fantastic interview, very good. I love the content that he's putting out so far. Long form discussion with boot makers. And not to mention, Dave is a very good interviewer. He asks a lot of really good questions. Really, really a great channel. I'm really excited about his YouTube channel and his Instagram because he's putting out content that not too many people out there are doing. So definitely go check him out. Boots of Mannish Leather. Go check out his Instagram account. Very cool Instagram account. The other one that I want to shout out to is Tico Blanco Shoes. This is a guy I've been following for a few years now. He's got an outstanding boot collection, and his bootography skills are also top-notch. He's got a lot of great boots in his collection. He's got Alden, he's got some rare shell Alden, he's got some Junkard Company, he's got a lot of Viberg, he's got some Engineers, which are really nice, some new Engineer boots. But yeah, I've followed him for a long time. I talk to him all the time about boots. In fact, he's one of my daily people that I check in with on Instagram every single day. We just talk about what's going on in the boot world, you know, new drops that are coming out by the different companies and stuff. Yeah, he's a great guy. Go give him a follow if you're not already, but if you follow me, then you probably also follow him. He's got a lot of, from what I can tell, a lot of connections in the industry. He's kind of in the know. When it comes to boots, he's one of the people that's definitely more in the know than most. He's just so involved with it. And yeah, he's just got a fantastic lineup. One of my favorite pairs that he just got are from this company called Onderhoud Handmade, or Wonderhoud Handmade. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's a newer Indonesian brand, and yeah, he's got some plain toe green boots from Onderhoud Handmade, which are really nice. And then actually, speaking of Tico Blanco, he was recently on the brand new Stitch Down Shoecast. My buddy Ben Robinson actually just started his own podcast, and it's really good. And on the first episode, both Ben and Tico Blanco got together and they talked about Indonesian boot makers. So speaking of Onderhoud, yes, they talk about that particular pair of Onderhouds that I showed in the previous pictures. So definitely go check out that podcast as well. It's very informative. They're both very funny. They play off each other very well. It's narrated by two of the best boot collectors in the game. So anyways, go check out his page, give him a follow if you're not following him already. And then the third shout out that I want to give is to my buddy Bennett_2238. This guy has an outstanding collection of Viberg boots, actually. He essentially kind of posts, it's kind of a top-down shot, and he shows off his Vibergs. Yeah, he's got a lot, I think mostly Vibergs in his collection. But yeah, very stylish guy, very down-to-earth. He's not ostentatious about any of this. He just takes the picture, posts them. Yeah, he's got some Osmos. and I'm actually jealous. He's got one of the nicest pairs of horse rump boots I've ever seen from Viberg's Division Road. He won the lottery with this pair, literally. He said this on his own Instagram because the character and the texture on them, it's got so many ripples and so many striations throughout the leather, and they just look fantastic. So that's probably my favorite one of his pairs of boots that he has on his Instagram account. Yeah, he just likes to post a daily pic of his outfit, and so very stylish guy, very good taste in boots. If you are not following Bennett _2238, go give him a follow because he is worth your time and energy. That's going to do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these Coach Ramblers. Again, I'm probably most excited about these out of all my new boots. I mean, these are just an incredible pair of boots. And I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I am on Instagram if you want to follow me there. My username is AeroSurferLV. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video.